Namaste everybody, Irina here. Thank you for joining me in this yoga practice. The theme of this practice is digest and detox. So we've just been through the festive period and perhaps some of us have overindulged in eating and drinking, and you may feel a bit sluggish with your digestive system. So you want to get the juice going, get the things moving in our guts. Or perhaps you have had a very stressful festive period with lots of commitments to your friends and family, and you're constantly running with a flight or fight mode, and your sympathetic nervous system is just switched on, and you'd really like to get into parasympathetic nervous system and get into that rest and digest system. So whatever your intentions are, I welcome you to this video. My name is Irina. If you haven't subscribed yet, so please do subscribe to this channel and hit the like button, and we're going to start the practice shortly. If you're pregnant or you're suspecting that you're pregnant, especially in the first trimester, I would avoid this practice, because we're going to be we're going to be manipulating with the belly and squashing, squeezing, contracting and extending and doing the multiple twists. So please be careful. Right, so let's start with the child's pose. Balasana. So I would recommend to have your knees close together. So it means that we actually want the pressure of the knees to get into the belly. Your hands could be brought forward, or you can bring your arms along the side of the legs. If you're finding that you're straining through the neck, perhaps positioning the block or the breaks, maybe multiple breaks, just to support your neck here. So let's get into the pose. Notice your sensations in the upper body, especially if you're holding the tension in the shoulders. Just trying to soften and relax your upper body. So we're melting into the body. Notice the sensations in the thighs, in the hips, and bring awareness into the belly. Perhaps your belly is feeling the pressure of the knees, especially when you inhale, the belly rises, it pushes towards the thighs, and on the exhale, the belly drops to the spine. And notice any sensation in the abdomen. Bring that deep abdominal breathing into the practice. Very gently, let's come into the all fours. So your hands are underneath the shoulders, bringing your knees width hip apart. And let's get into the cat-cows. So inhaling, extending through the spine, rolling your shoulders back, and on the exhale, rounding through the back and pushing the mat away. Inhale, stretching the front of the body. We are compressing the lumbar spine, the vertebrae in the lumbar spine, and on the exhale, rounding, getting here in the thoracic, engaging with your solar plexus and looking at the navel. Few rounds. If you're finding that you want to go a bit of a slower pace, or perhaps different pace, and get a little bit more dynamic, just feel what intuitively right for you in that moment. Let's tug the toes. Let's bring the knees from the floor, pivot through the feet. Move your ankles. Start pressing into your hands. And then dropping the knees to the floor and moving the arms away. So keeping your sit bones quite high. We're gonna melt with the heart forward. And bringing your forehead or the chin, pressing with the underarms into the mat. And trying to close that gap between the arms, the underarms, and the mat. You'll feel the sensations in the upper shoulders, underarms. And I also would like you to contract the belly. So keep the breath moving, deep abdominal breathing. And from here, back into the all four, tuck the toes, lift the knees, pedal through the feet. And walk the feet towards the front of the mat, leave some space. Big toes to touch, keep your knees soft and melt with the upper body forward. So you can hug the elbows and relax through the neck. Let the head just fall forward, or you can bring your hands to the floor, rotating the palms out so the palms are facing up. And a few breaths here. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, fold. We're going to step back with the right foot. And from here, we're going to come up in the high lunge. But we're going to interlace the fingers, bring them behind you. And then we're going to collapse forward with the chest. So start moving forward. And maybe bring the arms slightly away. Release the arms forward. Step back into the plank. Transition into Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here, drop the knees. Drag the chest, the chin. Keep your sit bones quite high. And then coming into the Cobra Bhujangasana. Look up, inhale. And exhale. Keep your legs active. One more inhale. Tug the toes. Exhale, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward. Step, walk or jump. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Step back this time with the left foot. Runner's lunge. So in the runner's lunge, important to keep your back knee really active. Let's interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back. And then bring the chest forward. So trying to squeeze the belly here. We are getting into the shoulders, working on the upper body. The quads are strong. And release the hands to the floor. Step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold the breath, drop the knees. Drag the chest, the chin. Gentle back bend. You can have not that much of a distance between the chest, just pressing. But if you don't have any restrictions in your lumbar, well, you'll have a restriction because it's all about the compressing of the vertebrae in the lumbar. But it depends on your range of motion, how far you can get your chest away from the floor. Tuck the toes. Down dog. Let's lift the right leg up. Look forward. step forward. Drop the left knee to the floor. We're going to come into the twist, Parivrita Parshvakonasana. So your right hand onto the right hip. We're going to bring the arm forward, twist towards the right side, and staying here in this twisted position, or lifting the back knee off the floor and looking over the right shoulder. Okay, if that's too much, maybe having a support of your back knee on the floor. Twist in the waist and twist in the neck. Back, unravel into the center, plant your hands, lift the back knee off the floor, pivot to the opposite side of the mat. Dropping the knees. First of all, let's start with the base. So left hand on the left hip, find the length, stretch forward, and with that length, come into the twist. Hands into the prayer, shoulders away from the ears, and either bringing the back knee off the floor or keeping it on the floor. One more deep inhale and exhale. And in, exhale, release the twist, lift the back knee off the floor, pivot and walk to the opposite side, step back into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, hold the breath, drop the knees, drag the chest, the chin, and this time bring your elbows forward and the elbows underneath the shoulders. So coming into the Sphinx pose, pressing into the forearms. Remember to engage your glutes. So I'm squeezing the bum. I'm activating my legs, pointing the toes. And breathing deeply. And from here, release the chest, grab your outside edges of your feet. You can grab the ankles. And from here, we're going to kick back and we're going to try to lift the chest off the floor. So you're trying to resist and kick back, but at the same time, ensure that you're engaging your legs in. So keep kicking back. A good back bend. So we get that energy into the lower back, but also we are pressing into the belly, compressing the internal organs, and keep kicking back with your legs, feeling the sensation in the quads. There shouldn't be any acute pain in the lower back. So if you do experience, maybe you need to back off or come out completely of the pose. And release. Press into Balasana, the child's pose, rounding through the back, releasing the upper body, and breathing. Just notice sensation in your lower back, into your hips. Notice how the belly rises and pushes towards the thighs. That's your inhale, and on the exhale, the opposite direction, the belly drops to the spine. Peel the forehead off the floor, release the legs to the sides, transition into the seated, and come straight laying on the back. Okay, so let's hook the big toes with middle and index finger, and we can open up the hips here. So quite wide opening, and keep pushing with your legs, and maybe having a bit of massage of your lower back. So happy baby. The targeted area here is the quads, the hips, but at the same time we want to kind of compress the belly with the thighs. For some of you, you may want to go a little bit further into the groin, the adductors, and maybe positioning your hands on the shins and resisting and pulling, push, pull here. You'll feel the stretch alongside the groin. Let's bring the knees together. Rock forward, catch the balance. I remember catching the balance and balancing on the sit bones, not on the coccyx. So if you're finding that you're rounding through the back, maybe exploring the movement of the chest forward and rolling the shoulders back. A good strong connection to the core. So I'm restricting the core, so I'm squeezing and using my second bandha or second lock, abdominal lock, but I'm also breathing. I don't forget to breathe. And from here, gently releasing your back to the floor and maybe bringing the knees closer to the chest, squeezing yourself into the ball. Few breaths here. And let's drop the arms to the floor. Let's open up through the chest, bringing your elbows into the flexion and dropping the knees towards the left side of the body, rotating your neck towards the right. Don't worry where your knees gonna drop. Could be all the way down to the floor, could be not that far, but trying to soften in the waist, and you'll feel that sensation in your side of the body, your right side of the body. Keep the chest open, keep rotating, so keep the twist in the neck to the opposite side, so stretching the neck and back into the center with the knees and going into the other side. Maybe closing the gaze. Trying not to hold the tension in your knees. It might feel quite counterintuitive, but trying to soften through the legs so that the body can open up naturally. Back with the knees towards the center. We're going to very gently rock forward. And bringing both of the soles together, create that diamond shape. If you're finding that you're tilting backwards with the hips like this, maybe positioning something underneath, a blanket or anything that could tip your pelvis slightly forward. So we're going to inhale, and on the exhale, walk your hands forward, maybe creating, interlacing the fingers and positioning them on the top of the toes. Relaxing the neck. You may find that you feel the strain in the neck, maybe using one of the blocks and positioning on the top of the feet. And then you can really relax here into the pose, into the shape. Perhaps you even want to bring the arms to the side, so opening up the palms and allowing the body to just drop forward. Breathing deeply. tapping into the breath, so start slowing down your breath. Observing the sensation in the hips, in the belly, in the lower back. Ensure that your shoulders are soft and relaxed and the facial muscles are relaxed. And very gently coming up. And from here, if you're finding that you need still a bit of movement, that could be maybe some twist with your knees from side to side. And coming into the cross-legged seated position, or from here you can take it to Shavasana, so have your 5-minute relaxation, or you can go into the meditative state and do your pranayama. This channel is all about express yoga, so it's about 20 to 25-minute practices where you can do it daily on a regular basis and take a bit of the time from your day and improve your mental and physical well-being. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you in next videos. Namaste.